The stadium lights burned so brightly that night, they looked like a second sun hanging above the pitch. Thousands of voices roared together, merging into one unstoppable wave of sound. Cameras flashed. Phones were held high in the air. Commentators were already shouting before anything even happened. Because whenever football begins, something unbelievable might happen. A missed kick, a perfect goal, a moment so funny, so shocking, so unbelievable that millions of people around the world will replay it again and again. And tonight was one of those nights. Football is a serious sport, but sometimes it becomes the funniest show on earth. It starts with a simple pass. A defender tries to clear the ball. Easy, routine, something players do thousands of times in their careers. But this time, something goes terribly wrong. His foot slips. The ball flies backward instead of forward. The goalkeeper stares in horror, and before anyone can react, the ball rolls slowly, painfully, directly into his own net. For 2 seconds, the stadium falls silent. Then the crowd explodes with laughter. Teammates collapse to their knees. Commentators scream. Fans on social media immediately begin clipping the replay. Welcome to the world of football fails, moments where the beautiful game suddenly becomes beautifully ridiculous. But the magic of football isn't just in mistakes, it's also in the reactions. Because somewhere in the crowd, a kid is watching with his mouth wide open. Somewhere at home, millions of viewers are shouting at their screens. And somewhere on the pitch, two of the greatest names in football history are watching everything unfold. On one side of the football universe stands a quiet magician, a player who barely needs to run to change the game, a man whose left foot has rewritten history more times than people can count, Lionel Messi. On the other side stands a force of nature, a player built like a machine, moving faster, jumping higher, shooting harder than anyone thought possible, Cristiano Ronaldo. For more than a decade, football has lived inside their rivalry. Fans have argued endlessly, Messi or Ronaldo. The debate never ends. But sometimes, even legends become spectators to the chaos of football. One moment in particular would leave even them stunned. It happened during a high-pressure match. The stadium was packed. The tension could be felt in every seat. The ball was played forward into the penalty box. A striker sprinted toward it with everything he had. This was the moment. Goalkeeper rushing out, defender sliding in, crowd rising to their feet. The striker winds up for the shot. He swings and completely misses the ball. Not just a small miss, a full dramatic swing through empty air. The striker spins, loses balance, falls flat on the grass. The defender slides past him. The goalkeeper stops, and the ball just slowly rolls out of bounds. For a moment, nobody knows what to do. Then the entire stadium erupts. Fans are laughing so hard they can barely breathe. The replay appears on the big screen, again and again and again. Football bloopers like this travel across the internet at lightning speed. Within minutes, the clip reaches millions of phones. Reaction videos explode everywhere. People watching with wide eyes, people falling out of chairs laughing, friends sending the clip to each other with messages like, "You have to see this." Fans were recording the moment. The whistle blew. The player ran forward. He struck the ball with incredible power and blasted it straight into his own teammate's face. The poor teammate dropped instantly. The ball bounced backward. The crowd gasped. Then slowly, laughter began spreading across the stadium like wildfire. Football is unpredictable, and that's exactly why the world loves it. But there is another side to football reactions, moments that make people stand up in disbelief, moments where pure skill makes the impossible look easy. A young player receives the ball near the sideline. 3 defenders close in. No space, no chance. At least, that's what everyone thinks. He taps the ball forward, steps over it once, twice, then flicks it behind his own leg. The defenders freeze. The crowd roars. He dances through them like they aren't even there. By the time he reaches the penalty area, the stadium is already screaming. The shot curls into the top corner. Goal! And somewhere watching from a luxury box, a legend smiles. Because moments like this remind everyone why football is the most watched sport on the planet. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's unbelievable, sometimes it's chaotic, but it is always emotional. And perhaps the most heartwarming reactions come not from professional players, but from the next generation. In a quiet living room far away from the roaring stadiums, a small boy sits on the floor watching football highlights on television. Every goal, every trick, every funny mistake. He watches them all. The screen shows one of the greatest goals ever scored. The boy jumps to his feet. He tries to copy the celebration. Arms wide, running across the room, laughing, dreaming. Because every football legend started exactly like this. A kid, watching, imagining, believing. Back in the stadium, another match is reaching its final moments. The score is tied. The tension is unbearable. Players are exhausted. Fans can't sit still. The ball is crossed into the box one final time. A defender jumps, misses. The ball drops perfectly for an attacker. He shoots. The goalkeeper dives. Time seems to stop. Then the net ripples. Goal! The stadium explodes into pure chaos. Players sliding on their knees, fans hugging strangers, commentators screaming into their microphones. Somewhere in the stands, someone is crying. Somewhere online, millions are reacting instantly. Football reactions flood the internet. Clips, memes, laughter, shock, joy. And somewhere in the crowd, a young fan whispers quietly to himself, "One day, that will be me." Because football is more than just a game. It is drama, it is comedy, it is dreams colliding with reality. From hilarious fails to breathtaking skills, from epic reactions to unforgettable goals, football keeps giving the world moments it will never forget. And the next unbelievable moment might only be one kick away.